If you haven't watched the previous video about aspects, watch that video before learning about flaws. Flaws are also aspects, but they're aspects with a negative bent. The purpose of flaws is to give characters depth and complexity. Additionally, by bending to their flaws, players can earn tokens, which we'll talk about in the next video. Like aspects, good flaws are widely applicable and specific to the character, but not too broad. The best flaws are deeply personal to the character, and overcoming them can form the backbone of your character's growth. Bad flaws are either too broad and thus slow the game down by needing to be checked all the time, or too narrow and thus not worth the value that you get out of them. Items and powers also sometimes possess flaws such as heavy and unwieldy, or spectacularly noisy and unsubtle. Flaws can be used in two main ways. First, flaws can be bound. Binding a flaw is the opposite of invoking an aspect. The target takes a penalty on a skill roll determined by the game's rules. In the Witch Heart machine, the penalty would be -5. Second, flaws can be compelled. This forces the entity to act within the bounds of the flaw. If you bind an opponent's broken leg flaw, you can likely prevent them from performing acrobatics, for example. Normally, you can't simply force someone to take a bind or a compel. Instead, you have to offer them a token in exchange. The target can either take your offer or refuse your offer by giving you a token, representing them using their willpower to momentarily overcome their flaw. Flaws cost -10 XP. In other words, you get 10 XP back from taking a flaw. But don't take multiple flaws just for the XP. It's hard enough to keep track of just one, and you don't want to bog the game down too much. Up next, we'll be talking about tokens, which power your aspects and flaws. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Spiral game system on voidspiral.com. And may the light of RNG shine upon you. The purpose of flaws is to Dang it! Dang it!
So good! It was so good up until...
I was rolling that one. Flaws can be used in two main ways. By scrolling up, or by scrolling down. The target can either refuse your offer by giving you a token, representing their willpower momentarily overcome their flaw words. The purpose of flaws is to give characters... That was really silly. Like, just the purpose.